Hello, traveling musicians who have bad backs. This is the video for you. The one thing I hate more than anything else about playing in a band is carrying heavy equipment. And I've had not just one, not just two, but many students who come to me at the beginning and they're like, well, I really need the Marshall and I need the 412 because that's cool. Or I play bass, I need the 8x10 Ampeg stack. These things then usually remain in practice rooms because they neither have the cars nor the muscle capacity to move those things around. Now, a normal 112 is doable. It's not fun, but it's doable. That Tone King amp back there, it's got the amp built in, combo, technically all conveniently in one box. Do you want to move it around? No, you do not. Now, if you're the hobby musician and you once in a while gig, you don't mind. You want to take your really nice gear and get it on stage. If you're the working musician, going to a music school where you might have to take your gear, going to gigs, playing musicals, playing jazz gigs, playing in the bar, playing, the hotel lounge lobby kind of a thing. Do you need to rock on stage? Do you need to fill the room with high-gain monstrosity sound? No, you want to come home and not be dead, because your kids still need to be fed, your cat needs to be brushed, and something about the dog. So, in come some weird Finns, who, because up there, very little light and summer, it's actually not true. My friend Vlad lives in a very, very beautiful place. Anyway, those Finns up there, let's just assume they have no light and nothing to do. They came. They came across a construction site years ago. Not all the Finns, just these Finns. And I think, according to the story, they broke in and stole something because they were just too excited. They found a drainage pipe. The red ones? And they thought, well, maybe that's perfect for a 12-inch speaker. And then they went into the basement because there's really nothing else to do in Finland. And they schemed and they did things and they came up with a series of cabs based on drainage pipes. That's exactly what that is. This is a plastic drainage pipe with a 12-inch speaker in it. So this is not the tiny little one. When the Vox MV50, really cute amps and good amps, usable amps. What do they sell you with it? Yeah, a tiny little 8-inch crap speaker. The Joyo Bantam series, really good amps. What do they sell you with it? A tiny little kiddie speaker. This is the size and weight of these tiny little kiddie speakers while not being a tiny little kiddie speaker. Now, don't get me wrong, you do have to make compromises with these because they're not a heavy, big cab. They're a small, lightweight cab with a big speaker in it. Some compromise will have to be made, but the good thing is, look at this. That's ridiculous. Now, there are different ones. This one has a, what do I know? Jensen neodymium, because neodyme, that's what you get, that's how it's lightweight. Jet Series Special Edition, maximum power 100 watts, impedance 8, play responsibly, designed and crafted in Finland. Toob.fi. I'm reading all this because I have eyes. Now, this is all handmade. And this is an open back. They're lining this inside with another plastic tube perfectly. There's a rubber thing in the back. We'll get to this. Speaker in here and a control panel you can even chain speakers through. There's a leather handle, which is very nice. And this little board that they screw into the top with Velcro on it. And if Leslie goes to the back camera, we can actually see on the closed back version that I mounted a Seymour Duncan power amp on there with Velcro. You could mount a Quilter amp on there. You could mount a Vox MV50 on there. Any kind of small Class D amp will easily turn this into a combo. Now, what you see on the floor there is this, which is just brilliant. Handmade, wood, and that's the stand. Has this little thing with a magnet, and it goes like this. Bam. And it sits firmly in place. So this is how you're actually moving it around. You can possibly, if you protect the speaker, get some pedals or something in there. And then you get to the gig. Done. Sits angled like this on the ground. So that's a neat concept. How do they sound? Obviously is something we're going to have to find out, which is why I have a Laboga 112 cab on the floor, which is not very big. It says a smaller 112. It says, what's it say? It says a smaller 112. And I'm going to mic this open back tube. Does it have a model number? Has a serial number. This open back tube cab with a Lewitt MTP 440, and the Laboga will be mic'd with the Lewitt MTP 440. At the same time, I'm also miking both of them because the question is, what does it sound like in the room? Because are you going to close mic this in a studio situation? Are you going to close mic this in a live situation? X, what do you think? Are you going to close mic this? Do you want to see in the tube? No, he does not. So, very likely, you're not going to close mic this. This is a personal monitoring solution for the small gig or for the orchestra pit, where you as an electric guitar player, of course, spend most of your time. We want to know what it sounds like in the room. And for that, I have right there, two Lewitt LCT 340 as a stereo miking solution for the room, which we're also going to check out. But there's more. Let's look at more cabs. This is the closed version, beautifully closed off with wood and a bass reflex kind of thing. This comes with the optional tilter. It has the same wooden stand as the other one, but this is actually a very, very simple contraption that they came up with. These guys are pretty clever. These are, what's it called? Just angles, beautifully assembled. And the way this is done, this is what that looks like. This is pretty damn brilliant. And you can clearly see this is all handmade. You could clip the normal foot at the bottom or clip the tilter in there. You see this? Like this. Rubber goes on top. Never do it without a rubber. And now you have a much better tilting angle for your personal monitoring system. So you're not playing towards your ankles, you're actually playing towards your ears. You're gonna lose bass because that's the nature of the game. The further you get from the ground, the less bass you're gonna have. So that's just how it is. This is the bass version. Also comes with the angled foot. Got it right here. Bam. Almost the same size as the closed back version. Difference is it has a speak-on and it's, well, has a different speaker, a Celestion BN, I don't know, BN12-300S. But it also has, it's lined with felt or Velcro, and it has this little bit of a pillow in the back, which simply straps on like so. So it's a little bit of a different design. And it comes with these, again, very simple idea, bent metal, that you, at your gig, put in here. Why? Haha. So that it can sit on the ground like this, like a rocket, and projects the sound upwards to you. Is it going to have tons of bass and rumble the stage? It really does not. It's a personal monitoring system, and it's great for that, because this is probably the lightest bass speaker in the world. We're going to check it out with room sound in this position, which, again, to you, with those mics, what is it going to tell you? It's a personal monitoring system right under your feet. So, that said, let's do some sounds. I have arranged a rather complicated system of cables and things. I have on 2 amps right now. We're in the Revv Dynamis on clean. And right now, actually going into both cabs. So we're not going to do that for now, because I want to hear them separately. Right now, we're only going into the tube. And I'll write at the bottom whether you're hearing the close mic sound or the room mic. Same mic, different cab. That's the La Boga 112. Don't know how much the mics are picking up. The difference is big. The La Boga is way louder, and it does fill the room a lot more. Well, it is heavier, it is bigger, there's more air that it can move, more things vibrate. The idea of the tube is it's very small, not a lot of stuff vibrates because there's not a lot of stuff in it, which means it's light. You can't have small and light and a huge sound. It just doesn't work. By the way, the one tube cap that I don't have is actually a telescopic one that is even smaller than the smallest one I have here, and it pushes together in the back and it fits into a suitcase. So you can travel on a plane with the 112 cap. Yes, that is possible. And apparently, New York jazz musicians are in love with it, and I can understand why. So, let's do some jazzy stuff. And the tube. Next thing is high gain stuff. Again, if you want to rock and go, whoa, this is not the thing. If you want to carry things, you gotta carry things. If you want an easy gig, get the tube. So I'm gonna go into the Dirty Shirley by Friedman. Now, obviously, the speakers are different. The level difference is quite big. The way that it fills the room is quite big of a difference. However, for the situation, the Toob has a purpose. Do you want the huge, ridiculous rock sound when you're playing a musical and you're in the orchestra pit? Okay? When you're doing the job. So for on the job, this is exactly what they're made for. Now I'm going to go and do a in the room with the closed one, going directly into the Seymour Duncan power stage, which is a very, very small and lightweight solution. So we'll only have room sound, and I have a Le Clean in front of it from 2 notes, and let's do a little bit of reverb from The Dark Sun by Seymour Duncan. This is great for the pop rock gig where I just don't need the rock. Only hearing the room sound. I can, of course, crank up the power stage a bit more. Through the bass cap version. I'm playing through a guitar amp on clean. I'm playing through the Revv Dynamis on clean with this Zandberg California 2 TM4. I think that's what it's called. Let's go passive. You're also hearing the room sound from that very tiny, very lightweight speaker. played for a choir, where this level, because all the choir comes from the stage, would have been too much. And I really didn't want to carry big rigs there. So I had a Phil Jones 2x5 combo. Very, very tiny amp. And that was too loud. Just saying. So I think for bass players, in certain situations where, you know, you're more in the background and you're not rocking on stage, this is great. So I think you have to build your own opinion of it. Are you willing to take some compromise in sound for the convenience? And I'm saying some, because these sound way better than any comparable lightweight small speaker that the market has to offer. Any 8-inch, any kiddie speaker, they're all just there so the company has something that accompanies the little tiny amp. They're not really usable. These are usable. Are they going to blow away the audience in the first row? No, but that's the whole idea. You next to the piano player with your big-ass jazz guitar. Yes, you next to the flute player with your upright bass and that thing for you, personal monitoring. Think there's a market for these. Maybe you're right in that market. You will be the judge of that. Thanks to Toob for sending these over so we could check them out. And I'm going to say links below to toob.fi. And I'll see you on the flippity flop. Thanks, Leslie, for switching this. Animales al final.